Long time backup to Liam Entenmann, a standout goalie for the Irish, getting his chance, beating out Zepp for the goalie job. So he's in net today. Your other starters for the Irish from defense: Sean Light, Will Gallagher, and Nate Switzenberg. Devin McLean, Max Buzenkill, and Will Angrick in the midfield. Jake Taylor, Chris Kavanaugh, and Brady Picorni, your attack group for Notre Dame.
And largely because of the Notre Dame margins of victory.
That's a goal, and guess who? Chris Kavanaugh finds the back of the net, with the Irish up 1-0.
Well, he can't even get a sentence in about the other side of the ball because that's how quickly Chris Kavanaugh can go to work. Was so good, as we talked about in that quarterfinal win against the Hoyas. Third-team All-American last year, the most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament a year ago, and he's just continued that momentum from one year to the next. Working against Ty Banks, an All-American himself, but just department this year. But those little mistakes that are unforced can really hurt you against a team as good as Notre Dame.
Kavanaugh with space again has the first goal. That's wide, and it will stay with Notre Dame. It's so dangerous because Ben referred to kind of that Kavanaugh dynasty.
And then Plath finished his check as well. Georgetown going to want to make sure that Kavanaugh knows that they're there. Physicality going to be a big factor in a game like this.
Shot, and that's a goal. As coming up, Will Angrick, the midfielder out of Georgetown Prep. He was a little Hoya. Now he scores on the Hoyas. Gives the Irish a 2-0 lead.
Well, he had a hat trick against Marquette last time out, and he finished 2024 so strong with 9 points in his last 6 games. No points against Cleveland State in the opener, but now make it 4 in his last 4+ quarters, and that's one that Moore might want back short side. Trying to hug that near post, and still was a Fighting Irish wanted, and they'll win the face-off too off of a violation. Big crowd on hand. That atmosphere has been building all morning into the afternoon long. If the Hoyas were able to get a good start and kind of put some doubt in the minds of the Irish, who haven't really been tested so far this year, that would have been really important for Kevin Warren's team. But Irish have come here and scored the first 2 goals and look fairly comfortable.
Yeah, Kevin Corrigan said, he's like, look, we just don't know for sure, but we're pretty positive the way this team is, the way it's built, that there's not going to be a problem kind of stepping up the level of competition this week. And it has not been a problem so far. Fisher Finley with a goal. The Irish are rolling. 9:09 to go. They're up 3-0.
Oh, those 2 goals in really quick succession, and right off of the face-off violation as well. Just 32 seconds in between them. A little bit late to slide, and the Irish will make you pay for it. Timeout on the field.
Kevin Warren seen enough, trying to stop the run by the Irish. They're up.
Was certainly animated in during the last break, trying to make sure that this Hoya defense can get themselves together after conceding 3 goals in the first 6 minutes, including 2 in the last 32 seconds.
It's a new face at the dots for Georgetown. And the ball's still loose, picked up. As here come the Irish, and it's another goal. This time, Will Donovan, the long stick midi, makes it 4-0. Everything going the Irish way.
Well, whenever you can get a pole goal to fire up the crowd, and there's plenty of Irish fans in this crowd here at Cooper Field. The second-team All-American last year just stuck with it on the wing after the face-off, and nobody came to stop the ball. And there are talented enough players all over the field to hurt you when that happens. Guy who
instead, Notre Dame will go back to work. They've been the ones on the run today. Kavanaugh throws it back out to the top. Now Notre Dame will settle in still with just over 40 on the time.
And Buzenkill just came on into the offensive box for Notre Dame. 2 goals and an assist against Marquette last week.
There's Angrick on the run. And he will find the back of the net, and everything going in right now for the Irish. Anderson Moore having a tough one in the cage so far. That'll make it 5-0 Notre Dame.
Well, we talked about it in the open. The shooting percentage for Notre Dame leads the country in the early part of this season. They were just so efficient on the offensive end, and 5 goals on 8 total shots, 5 goals on 7 shots on goal. And as you said, Anderson Moore, last year's conference freshman of the year.
Georgetown. So the moment a little too big for them. Boys, see if they can get themselves together, but Notre Dame looks to be in mid-season form.
Yeah, this is nothing that Notre Dame hasn't done before, as you said, Jeremy. And this is the biggest game, at least on the regular season schedule thus far for Georgetown. And Hoyas just haven't responded as well to the moment as the Irish have. It's been a long time since Georgetown's beat #1 here at home. As you said, they beat Notre Dame last year in South Bend.
And that's another goal, as this time Jalen Seymour puts it away out of Melville, New York, and now a 6-0 lead for Notre Dame.
Well, Notre Dame is just seeing more offense on the offensive side of things right now and more space in that offensive box. Just so much room to operate for the senior. And again, just Hoyas a little bit late to slide over to their assignments. Guys, talk about how efficient Notre Dame has been on the offensive side of things, but it's not as if the ball hasn't been on this side of the field in the first quarter. This Notre Dame defense has just been lights out so far, and their goalie behind him.
Here's a run from Ray. Double comes. Furley, the many freshmen playing key roles for the Hoyas right now. Bayman keeps it moving. Possible chance here, and finally the Hoyas are on the board. The freshman, Owen Horning, puts one in, and the Hoyas have a little bit of life.
He's impressed so far in this first quarter of play, and that's a really nice, subtle move. If we get one more look at it, you'll see a little drop of his shoulder that causes Richard Deli to go low, and then Horning sees all the space open up. Watch this little dip of the shoulder, and then he goes up top, kind of changing the angle on Richard Deli, getting the right hand free. That little dip of the shoulder to make Richard Deli bend one knee, lick it. He's going to.
The game clock under the shot clock. We get 20 seconds to clear. 80-second shot clock from the start resets to 60. When the ball makes contact with either the goal or the goal. Here's Ray. Back out. Miller shoots, bounces, kicked up in the air. It will stay Georgetown ball with 13 seconds to go. Comes Bayman making a run on Lynch. Light, excuse me. Shot, that's way over top of cage. Now 5 seconds to go. Ray will bring it back in. Can he get a shot off in time? He will, and that ends up in the net. Will it count? They say it does. And Georgetown, what a big shot late by Jordan Ray.
I mean, that is just in the nick of time. They're ruling zeros on the clock, but they are going to rule it a good goal. Officials going to get together just to make sure. That is a.
To think he's going to get himself a goalie goal at some point. Maybe against a little lower level of opposition this year. That's a tough one against the #1 team. It'd be a memory forever.
Well, if the Hoyas get a big lead against another team late in the year and you bring that ride that results in the open net, Moore's not going to have to be asked twice.
Notre Dame defense settling in.
Haven't said Aiden Carroll's name too much yet today.
Nice pass, he finds Caesar, who puts it away. You have to know that Notre Dame defense, thinking about Aiden Carroll, beat them in South Bend. He draws the defense, sets up a big opportunity for Caesar.
He was the hero in South Bend last year in overtime, and as you said, the extra defender kind of comes in and collapses on him. That was Schwitzenberg, who came to help on Carroll when he was Caesar's defender. And it's a great unselfish contest.
It's kind of a battle you don't expect. Both teams struggling in this area. Let's see who can get the win.
Penalty halfway over now.
Hoyas are 0 for 8 on the year in man-up situations. Penalty and the timer match up perfectly right now. Both 16 seconds and rolling. Front shot and a goal. Jack Ransom and the Hoyas are the ones rolling right now. They've scored 4 straight. They're right back in.
That's such a great off-ball movement from Ransom. That kind of curl cut to get yourself into the bumper, and then through a lot of traffic, able to find Ransom right in front, and he has plenty of room to step down into it. Fighting Irish recognized it, but just a step late were both Ransom.
Here's Ray against Buckner. They'll keep it moving. with 30 on the timer.
Well, Krogan was screaming for it. He had some space on that right side.
Now working from X. It's Horning in front. Hit a body, loose ball, kept by Krogan, only 15 seconds to go.
That's an ill-advised pass from the freshman. Just too much traffic right out there in front of goal.
Shot and a goal. There's Fulton Bayman. He finds the net against his old team, and we've got a one-goal matchup.
Well, it's an exact mirror image of the save from last time when I said he could get that shot with under 10 seconds on the shot clock. There's 6 on the timer when he comes around to his strong hand that time, though getting his right hand free. And that fadeaway shot able to beat Richard Deli up top. And all of a sudden, as you said, it's...
Get it up to Carroll as the student will go to work. Carroll thought about it, not there. Again, Notre Dame all over him. They remember from last year.
But now they're switching on Carroll and not double teaming.
Caesar, he'll shoot wide of the cage, and that will be Georgetown ball. Caggiano got on his horse, able to beat Switzenberg over there.
I think this is a recognition of how much the other players for Georgetown can hurt you, but Carroll still can.
That's right. As Aiden Carroll has tied this game up, can you believe it?
Well, it's pick your poison right now for the Notre Dame defense, because if you double team Carroll, he's got the vision to find a teammate who's going to be open, but if you take him on one-on-one, he's got that lightning quick first step, and he doesn't need all that much space to get a shot away from even a sharp angle. Notre Dame's going to have to figure out what they're going to do against Aiden Carroll.
Top of goal, it stays with Notre Dame. Number 35, no reset. Kavanaugh trying to use the screen. Still has it, somehow holds on to it through all of that. Banks in his jock. Pass to the front, shot, and that's a goal, and that is a Kavanaugh special. He makes the play, and McLean finishes it off.
As you said, that is just all Chris Kavanaugh. The athleticism to go down to the ground, to keep control of the ball with Ty Banks, one of the best defenders in the Big East end of the country, all over him. And then he was able to lose the All-American Banks and find the open man. And from there, it was a pretty easy step-down chance for McLean. But to evade the defender after getting back onto your feet and then getting around Banks, extra help comes. Too much time and space on the step-down that Moore couldn't get low on, but that is all Chris Kavanaugh.
So Notre Dame stops the Georgetown run. As it went on, it kind of became more of an equal partnership as it's a big hit as Harris runs through contact. Good second line for this Notre Dame team. But as you mentioned, again, just the record book is filled with the name of Kavanaugh, and Chris started to put his name above his brothers in that. And the only 3 30-30 seasons, goals and assists in Notre Dame, it's all Kavanaugh's.
Not a bad kind of player to learn from for Chris.
That's a goal. He uses the screen, a good one, and puts it away. And Chris Kavanaugh, an assist and a goal. And now a flag on the field. Let's say good goal. Waves it off. We'll see. Will it be enforced?
Again, one more look at Kavanaugh. As soon as he has that kind of time to wind up that first step, he's lightning quick and can use that screen to his advantage.
And in front, shoots, it goes off the pipe. Big hit in front. Loose ball, Ray can't pick it up, and Notre Dame does. That one hit orange, could have been an 8-7 game. Instead, Notre Dame looking to score the other way.
Well, that's twice now that Georgetown's had a play right in the bumper, and they've hit the post. One to the left and now one to the right.
Get some space, not there, so Ramsey will dish it off to Faison. Stays out. Shot by Faison, that's a goal. What a turn of events as the Hoyas that close to making it a one-goal game. Instead, Notre Dame establishes a 3-goal lead.
Well, the cliche that it's a game of inches really looming large. Could just as easily be a one-goal game, and as you said, just getting the pick that time, and the guy who's playing for Notre Dame for the first time this year, Jordan Faison, Just 5 saves on the other side of things for Anderson Moore.
Behind the cage, now in front, low pass. Still scooped back up by Behrman.
That's kind of throwing down the gauntlet to the rest of the ACC and the rest of the country. Okay, no Liam Entenmann anymore. Maybe there's a little bit of a weakness in goal, maybe not.
Thrown away, but should be able to chase it down before it gets to the midline. Still 20 seconds to go on the timer, as Maharis will bring it back. Seymour. It's a little bit of space, shoots, and he scores. And Notre Dame back up by 4.
Well, all these Irish attackers only really need a half yard of space because they get their shots away so quickly, and you can see just getting around the first defender and then not needing a second invite to go and shoot, and Anderson Moore can't get up high enough quickly enough. And after nobody scored in the third quarter, 2 goals, and the Hoyas don't have the benefit of all that time left though back in the first quarter. Kind of have to compact everything a little bit closer together if they're going to make the run back the other way. Hoyas were nearly offside too.
Really a weird game so far for the Hoyas. Like you mentioned, just really a drought for most of the first quarter. Get the 2 goals, and they score 4 in the second. Nothing in the third quarter. And a shot by Caesar, and gave him way too much time and space. Joe Caesar makes them pay to give the Hoyas some life back.
Well, it's because Tyler Buckner broke his stick, and so he had to run off and get another one. So it was essentially an extra man chance for Georgetown, and Buckner was the defender. You can look at a moment here as number 12 is about to lose his stick for Notre Dame. He has to drop it and run off, and just like that, the seas kind of parted. And Notre Dame took full advantage through Caesar.
30 on the timer. Nothing there for Bayman. So he'll survey the scene. Down to 20. Bayman takes a quick look up at the clock. He'll work from X. Bayman shoots, and I'm going to say that is a reset. So fresh 60 for the Hoyas.
Well, 3 times Bayman has come around from X to shoot. The twice he's gone towards his left.
Carroll coming down the right side, scores right there.
Aiden Carroll, so lightning quick, was about to say Bayman has scored from his right, has been saved when he goes around to the left, but Aiden Carroll dodging down that right side only again needs a little hint of space. Shoots back across his body again. That's, you've said, has been one of the main kinds of shots that Richie Ardelli has had trouble seeing, those shots back across his body. And Aiden Carroll started
their best to keep Aiden Carroll quiet today, though he's really had his best offensive game so far with a pair of goals. Carroll. 23 on the time. Bayman. Bayman trying to lock down on the defensive end. Only 15 seconds to go on the timer. Bayman shoots, bounces it home. We've got a 1-goal game. Fulton Bayman against his old team comes up big once again.
Oh, what a big shot that is from Fulton Bayman with just 8 seconds left on the shot clock through all sorts of traffic. I don't know how late Richie Ardelli really got track of it. Look at all the bodies in between where Bayman shoots and where Richie Ardelli ends up trying to go low. To 40 seconds or something, and you need to rush it clear quickly. Boy, has had time to kind of keep things under control. That's an underclassman and more. He'll continue to learn and continue to grow. That's one that the Hoyas will want back, though.
So a huge possession here. Notre Dame scores. It might be over with Lynch at the dot. If the Hoyas can get a stop, they'll get a chance to tie this one up, coming up on 2 minutes to go. Down to 25. Here's Kavanaugh. He's got an open look, and he's able to score. Flag goes down. They're going to say good goal.
Probably a push on Kavanaugh as well, and once he gets inside leverage towards the crease, he is so difficult to stop. Help side defense came, but just a little bit too late. as getting there just not quite in the nick of time for Georgetown.
Kevin Warren is